What's good, y'all? It's Kid Kenji, and today we here for some fun, interesting dialogue. So, I'm sure we all had that conversation with our friends, and we was like, yo, what anime world would you like to live in came up? One of the most popular picks is Pokemon because, let's be real, first of all, there's a large variety of Pokemon, and who wouldn't want a Pokemon as a partner, like as a homie? Like, you're slacking if you don't want a Pokemon as a friend. But then there's always that one guy who's like, okay, now, what anime world wouldn't you want to live in? Like, which one do you think you'll get packed up in the quickest? And then we're like, bro, you're wildin'. Why are you even thinking like that? But then we parted the question and we're like, you know what? That's a good question because there's a lot of messed up anime worlds. One of the more popular picks of worlds you don't want to be in is the Attack on Titan world because, first of all, most of humanity is confined within these small walls. Second of all, at any moment, the Colossal Titan could think he Triple H and break the walls down and just break down the walls. Then Titans rush in, they eat you alive, they just torture and murder you. It's awful. Another awful pick would be Berserk because there's demons roaming around at night and you're just living in the same world as Griffith. Nothing more needs to be said. Any world where you can possibly be put into the eclipse, you don't want to be in. You even have the promised Neverland, and then of course you always got that one friend who, whenever they're explaining something, they be like, "Oh nah, bro, you just gotta." Sidebar: if somebody says you just gotta, they're about to say the most impossible thing to do ever. They're going to be like, "Oh nah, bro, you just gotta live on the farm and possibly escape." Not happening. But putting those anime aside, because those are clearly intended for more darker and mature audiences, some picks I've been seeing lately will be Demon Slayer because there's a lot of messed up demons in that world, and no matter what backstory they try to show me, some of those demons do not deserve sympathy. But another one I've been seeing that's very popular, because it's the most popular anime ever, will be Dragon Ball Z. And that's because you got people like Super Boo who just get tired of waiting, so they raise their hand up, use a move called the Extinction Attack, and they solo the entire planet. Kid Boo booming the planet, you got Cell wanting to boom the planet, Frieza booming planets. Awful world is DBZ. But a world I don't see spoken about as much, or at least for the reasons I'm about to bring up, is the world of Naruto. You do not want to live there. This ain't about the Sasuke clan. This ain't about the Akatsuki, because the way they ran up on Udakase, that was crazy. This is simply about just becoming a Genin. The simplest D-rank mission can get you packed. Let me take you back to early Naruto. I'm talking chapter 9, when Team 7 gets their first official mission, which is to protect the bridge builder. This doesn't seem too hard. It's a C-rank mission. You're escorting somebody back to his hometown. You have a Jonin and Kakashi with you. It'll seem pretty fun. In fact, Naruto is hype. He is treating this like a road trip. And within the first 5 minutes of them walking, there's assassins watching them from the trees. So, they keep strolling along. Kakashi notices a puddle of water on the ground. They keep on walking. But then, out of the puddle come the assassins. They raise up out the water, ensnare Kakashi Sensei. Team 7 is wild confused. And then it appears that they have killed Kakashi. So on your first official mission out the village, which is supposed to be just a light escort mission, your sensei was like torn to shreds. So Sasuke begins the hard carry, he fights the Demon Mist brothers. Sakura tries her best to protect the bridge builder, but these are assassins, so they go after the bridge builder. But luckily, in the nick of time, Kakashi shows back up. And he handles the Mist brothers with ease. It turns out Kakashi allowed himself to be taken out and used a substitution jutsu, and he used Team 7 and the bridge builder as bait because he wanted to see who these assassins were after. Like, why are there assassins this close to the Leaf Village after us? And here we get to reason number 1, and honestly, the main reason you would not survive in the world of Naruto. Want to know how Kakashi knew assassins were in the area? Because there was a puddle of water on the ground. And he said, "Oh yeah, it didn't rain in a few days, so that's how I knew there was something in the area." Bro, You just like, you didn't think no water style ninja were outside training, somebody spilled the water bottle. Your first instinct when you saw a puddle of water on the ground was, oh, there must be assassins in the arena. That's a different type of attentiveness that most people do not have. I'm pretty attentive. Like, one of my mottos is don't get caught lacking. Somebody getting a one up on me, like, nah, I'm not jacking it. But if I have to pay attention to things on that level, it might happen. They might catch your boy lacking. I'm pretty attentive, you know, somebody's not just gonna run down on me, but if I have to start looking for things like, oh snap, why is weeds growing in the concrete? Did somebody plant that? Is that a poisonous plant? Like, I'm just that's not me. I'm sorry. I might get caught. But I kid you not, the madness does not stop. Because Team 7 eventually reaches the hit and miss village, right? And they're on tilt. So, Team 7 sees, like, they see the bush moving. And like I said, they're on tilt. They're like, oh, nah, we not getting caught lacking again. So Naruto throws some shuriken in the bush. And they hit a bunny. Poor little bunny rabbit. But Kakashi, being the hardened veteran that he is, says, wait. Time out. That bunny shouldn't be here. That's its winter pelt. Is this bait? Is this a decoy? And guess what? He was right. This man saw a snow bunny and instantly deduced, wait, time out. Its pelt is white, but around this time, it should actually be brown, which means that this one has been kept indoors where there's not a lot of sunshine, and now it's only out here as bait to distract us. The fact that you could just instantly deduce that and go into big brain, light Yagami thinking mode, like I said, it's just a different type of thinking most people don't have. And then seconds after that, Zabuza attempts to assassinate them from the trees. Bro, it's just like, you're telling me if Kakashi wasn't on tilt and he wasn't on guard because he saw the color of a snow bunny's fur and that didn't alert him that something was up, they would have been assassinated? What? So, what was originally supposed to be a C-rank escort mission has now turned into you fighting Zabuza Momochi, one of the 7 ninja swordsmen, fighting for your life. Mind you, before you even started to have a normal fight with him, you could have died twice. The first time you could have died would have been if you didn't recognize that there's a puddle on the floor because it didn't rain in a few days, assassins would have got you. And the second time you could have died would have been because you didn't notice that the snow bunny's hair that is currently white is actually supposed to be brown. That's nuts. Our mind processes like 100 things per second, but we only care about like 2% of it. A few years ago, for the first time ever, I saw a black squirrel. Now, all my life, I've just been seeing brown squirrels, but when I saw a black squirrel, I was like, oh snap, that's kind of cool. I guess squirrels come in different colors. If somehow I were to wake up kidnapped and then my captors were like, oh, you should have known that only black squirrels appeared in Russia. You should have been more aware. I would have been like, dog, that's just like, that's on me. That's my fault. The first thing I do when I see an animal of a different shade of color or an animal that I never saw before in that environment, my first thought isn't, oh, somebody planted this here. There must be somebody in the area trying to throw us off because they're planning something devious. It's just like, no, bro. It's no. Now let's fast forward to the Sasuke Retrieval arc, where the Sasuke Retrieval squad got caught lacking. So while jumping through the forest, they notice there's a paper bomb up on the trees. And then they're like, alright, well, this is probably a paper bomb trap. It's not just one, there's several of them. And if we set it off, it's gonna like blow up our giant area. Alright, that's pretty logical. That's nothing too crazy. If you're chasing somebody, they're most likely going to lay traps. Now, while they're walking through the forest, because they have to make a detour, they notice there's a string like booby trap on the floor. They all notice it. Naruto's like, it's okay. I see it. So he steps over it. And then Shikamaru's like, wait, no, Naruto, watch out. There's actually a second wire that you can't see under the first one because it's camouflage green to blend in with the grass. That's crazy. But here is where it gets absolutely nutty and why you just would not survive in Naruto. So, they see the first wire. That's meant to be obvious. But then there's actually a second wire under that you can't see. They also find that, okay, but then they eventually get caught by the sound 4, and then we find out that there's actually a third wire. You're bugging. Forget learning A and S rank jutsu. To simply survive in Naruto, it just takes a different breed of deduction and perception skills that normal humans do not have. Imagine you playing Call of Duty, right? And then you see a claymore. You call it out for your team. Oh, watch out for that claymore. Y'all shoot the claymore. Then somebody says, all right, well, there might be like a second claymore around the corner, so watch out for that too. You spot that claymore and then you shoot it. But then the room blows up because there's a C4 on the roof. At that point, you're like, bro, I saw the claymore. I saw the second claymore, but there was another trap in there. That's essentially what Kidomaru did. To really hammer home how smart you have to be just to survive in the Naruto world, let's go back to the written exam. And why being considered smart in Naruto is like, that's a great feat. Like being smart in Naruto, like baseline smart in Naruto, means you're probably a genius in any other verse. And huge credit to Sakura for being able to take this test without cheating, because this test was so hard, it was designed for you to cheat. This test was so difficult that a genius in Sasuke didn't understand a single question. Imagine you sit down for a test, you look at all the questions, and the only thing that comes to your mind is, oh yeah, I have to cheat. Not, oh, I studied this, is this from subject number 3 out of the textbook? No, imagine you're looking at your test, and the only thing you come to the conclusion is, oh yeah, I gotta cheat. And they expect you to. They give you questions so hard, your only option is to cheat, and they want to see how well you can do it, because like I showed earlier in the video, just to survive you have to be a master at deduction and perception and analyzing, looking at a bunny and being able to say, oh, that's not the color it should be right now, so that's a bait. Like, bro, no. So yes, there are worse verses to live in. Like I said, Attack on Titan, Berserk, there are a bunch of seinen that's bad to live in. But it's just, if you're put in Naruto and you're thinking, oh, as long as I avoid pain and Orochimaru and stuff, I'll be fine. No. You're going to be walking somebody to the corner store on a basic D or C rank mission, not notice that somebody is hiding inside your own shadow because you're busy looking for bunnies or puddles of water on the floor. And that is why you would not survive in the Narutoverse. This video was really fun to do, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind doing it for some other verses, because most of the time when people say, oh, you wouldn't survive there, we bring up just straight up power reasons, like Kurama's gonna get you or Shigaraki's gonna get you. But no, it'd be the little things that we just gloss over that would be the reason you get caught lacking. Hold up, bro, I don't know how I forgot to include this, but y'all remember how Tsunade's brother Nawaki got done up? Like, he jumped in, he was excited to be on a mission, and then the cave just blew up? Yeah, it's over. You're done. You're not living in a Naruto world. Not happening.